What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Motorfest. So in this video today, I do want to go over the best way to max out the Rally Raid class. I do understand a lot of these classes probably aren't going to be terrible, but at the same time, I would probably say some of them are probably not going to be the funnest thing to do, like Demolition, Monster, Powerboat, and Plane. I would most likely say those classes are probably going to be the most frustrating. Do keep in mind though, guys, I am going to do videos on the Powerboat and Plane, but at the moment, I am still currently working on getting maxed out sets for them. But in today's video, though, I do want to go over the Rally Raid class. Now, I would say this class isn't the worst. Even in some ways, you're probably going to have a better time maxing this one out compared to many of the others. So for this, guys, I do actually have a good amount of sets. So for this, I actually have a Treasure Sniffer, which I still have not even used this set, but do stay tuned for some testing on this one. I actually hope in some ways it's probably going to be worth it. And then, of course, I currently have one Nitrochemist set active at the moment, but I am currently working on getting a second one. That way I can also test out different Affixit stats in the future to really see which ones are actually the best, and also which ones might actually fall behind. But the other set I am currently going to have, guys, is indeed a Loot Digger. Now, I have to admit, I'm also going to do a video on the Loot Digger set because I'm almost guaranteeing it's not working correctly. Even the Lucky and Goldfinger perk do seem to be slightly off, so do let me know in the comments below if you guys also think this is the case. Like, I have done a crazy amount of races in this game, and I almost guarantee Lucky is not working as intended, so hopefully something is going to come out for that. But I'm also currently running a Scorebreaker set, guys. I have to admit, by the way, definitely go after a Scorebreaker set for any of the main vehicle classes. So I'm recommending Tier 1, Tier 2, Hypercar, Racing, Rally Raid, Rally. I really would recommend having at least one full Scorebreaker set, guys, for any of the main classes. That way you can do the summits and basically get the highest score possible to at least get into Platinum a tad easier. Now, I have to admit, guys, one of my favorite things about the Rally Raid class is probably going to come down to the fact that, well, you can do most of the events around the entire map, but do keep in mind, though, you also will not be able to do many of them either. So, for example, the Liberty Walk races you cannot use the Rally Raid vehicles in, and many of the main street races you also cannot run them. So, do keep that in mind if you guys are looking to really mix up the overall grind. Which, trust me, I definitely understand how that does feel, but if you guys are looking for a lot of different events here, I will point out a lot of great ones. So the first one is going to be the Off-Road Island. I will also go over some of these events here in a second and my favorite ones. The other one is also going to be the River Round Rumble. This one is also going to be slightly longer though, so some of the events that are longer, you will obviously get more parts from those than some of these short ones like the Hummer E Express, which by the way, that race is also going to be great. And I have to admit, guys, again, I'm going to have to point out these events. The vintage garage races are honestly going to be great. Now, with that being said, though, I have to admit there is still going to be a good amount of races you can do that actually have AI in them. For example, the Tallahassee Melee is going to be one of my favorites. Do keep in mind, I also basically went through most of these events when maxing out this class. So, for example, guys, I would do like the Tallahassee Melee here. Then I would go back over to the Mustang Sally, head back over to the other event that's located here, which is Drive This Way. I would even do the Riverbound Rumble a couple of times as well, so you really can mix it around and do many different events on the way to actually getting maxed out parts. And I really do think it's going to be insanely helpful, especially grinding out. Because I did notice, guys, if you actually grind the exact same event for hours, you can easily burn yourself out if you keep grinding the exact same event over and over. So having a few you can basically alternate from is probably going to make the overall experience going after these parts sets that much better. Do keep in mind, guys, you can also do the Hummer E Express here, which I would say most players are probably going to be doing this event with many of the other classes because it's only around 1 minute and 30 seconds, making it one of the fastest events in the entire game to complete. Now, the last thing I do want to go over, funnily enough, was probably one of the main ways I actually got many of my part sets done. That's going to come down to the main off-road playlist here. So this is going to be Mud Hour, and obviously, like, the main off-roading attic is going to be right here. But the best thing about this, though, guys, the fact that you can actually keep grinding out all the events, running the exact same Rally Raid vehicle for all of the events here. You can also run basically any Rally Raid vehicle of your choice on all of the events in this, guys, which is going to be 8 different events you can run. And one thing I also have to recommend, by the way, you can also reset the championship here, giving yourself an easy 80,000 pretty much by running all of the events in a row. Now to sum this up though, I would definitely recommend doing the Off-Roading Addict playlist, guys. That way you can get a lot of extra money from it. And of course you can run all 8 of those events basically in a row, making it slightly easier to actually get some parts for the trucks. But do keep in mind you can also do a race like the Tallahassee Melee and jump into many of the other Vintage Garage playlist events to get these maxed out part sets as quickly as possible. But besides all that though, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insight.